What is something that you would never confess to your family? That I started masturbating every day at age 9. They know. They don't have proof. They can't indict me without my confession. Me too lol. Didn't really know what I was doing was called masturbation. My second husband that they all think is wonderful has cheated on me. And it's actually far worse than the cheating that caused my first divorce from my high school sweetheart I had spent 15 years and had 2 children with. And I daily wish that if I had to work on a marriage, it were my first. I'm going through the motions. And I smile and nod while they gush about him. If they knew he had slept with 5 other women in the course of our relationship, it would be awful. I found out about all of them in the course of a few months. A year after we married. Had I even had a suspicion before, I wouldn't be here. But he's a cop and I was a RN in NP school with 2 kids. He's in his 40s. I'm in my late 30s. I FD up by thinking we were busy adults and I didn't need to babysit a grown man. I was wrong. I'm a recovering alcoholic and drug addict at 24. They all warned me that my entire family was full of them, but I thought I was different. 105 days sober. My younger aunt and I almost fooled around when we were kids. We didn't know about each other, and when we both met she was 13. I was 15. As we grew up there was a ton of flirting and sexual tension. It never came to anything, thank God. But we had some intimate conversations around it. Oddly enough, both of us are very close today and have even spoke about how ridiculous the whole thing was. Edit for some FAQ in comments. Technically my half-aunt. Mom had me at 16. Grandpa had an affair with another woman. Produced my aunt 2 years later. And subsequently left grandmother for other woman. For the record, both of those women are lovely. I rarely see the grandmother who lives far away, but the other woman lives in the same state and sees her great-grandson and I with some frequency. Neither of us want to bone the other anymore. And at least one of us is happily married. We're both embarrassed, but I think she's more embarrassed than I am. That being said, she is very attractive and younger me fantasized about it a lot, and I will always have those fantasies with me. We have children and those children see each other infrequently. Attend each other's birthday parties, yada yada. We've rarely talked about it. But when we have, it's very dismissive, like what the HL was wrong with us type thing. Obviously. It's always there for me and I'm pretty sure for her. I can't interact with her without thinking, hey, remember that time we talked about fooling around and then never did? Uncle, niece and aunt-nephew relationships are historically common enough to have an actual term for them. Avunculate marriage. Thanks. Now I have a new word with which to make my aunt uncomfortable at Christmas. That I have a better relationship with my friends than I do with them. Niece, try mom. Son, come home, your dad and I miss you. Up until about a year ago, I said I would take to my grave that my stepdad molested me for almost 30 years. But I outed the dude 8 months ago. Cheers. Edit. I've never felt so much love from strangers. I love Reddit. I'm going to spend tomorrow reading everyone's comments. You all matter. And if this post encourages even one person to speak their truth, it was worth it. Thank you. Kind strangers. I outed mine when I was 34. After again having to go in to have my RM checked for the millionth time. It's never healed right. I was 9. And after so that part of his family disowned me. Awesome. AS. Didn't care about them in the first place. Then my little sister came clean. I knew she got pregnant at 11 years old. But she denied so much about everything. Found out he did it. So her first is from him. Yeah. It's been HL in a handbasket for me since then. Alone 41 years. No kids. No future with anyone. Oh well. All just work. Edit. You, lesbonce mama. I got your back if you need anyone to talk to. The pain and drama associated with our experiences gives us insights into how we can help each other and figure out the paths we need. I'm broken. Let me not kid you on this. But you got a friend if you need one. Jesus FG Christ. Pregnant? At 11? What a sicko. He did not care. Rape the son. Rape the daughter. Any sexual dream I've had. Ever. Nobody needs to know that. Edit. I love how this is my top comment on Reddit. Something I can't share with anyone. Fetishes. Lol. Amen to that one. I used to smoke meth. I've been clean for 13 years now and they'll never know. Edit. Holy ST. Thank you for the golds and F button. To answer a few questions. I smoked for 5 years. I got into a huge fight with my parents and moved to another city so no one really saw me, and this was before Facebook and ST, so there wasn't any gross pics being posted. I got clean with some help. Moved back. And made up with my family. I'm running out of excuses on why I won't watch Breaking Bad though. Good job on 13 years clean. In high school, when they thought I was at a wholesome sleepover, I was actually completely wasted on cheap vodka, running around on the local golf course and peeing without abandon. A family member used to live in our home. Groomed me and sexually abused me when I was around 12 YO. Not sure about the age. Don't really want to remember. But yeah, I don't think I would ever tell them. I'm not even sure they would believe me. Happened to me when I was in 5th grade by my older sister's boyfriend. I told when I was an adult and they didn't even pretend to believe me. I told my mother I was molested as a kid when I was an adult. Last year, I was 26, and she basically accused me of making it up. To this day, out of everything in my life, I have never felt more rejected and disappointed than in that moment. I could have seen it coming from a mile away though, so at least I wasn't surprised. Sorry you went through this. There's no way around it. It just FG sucks. The worst part for me is, after suppressing memories for 20 years, when someone doubts me, I then doubt me. Am I making it up? Do I not remember it right? Am I wrong? Trauma is wild. Your brain shuts down and just starts again, forming a new personality and erasing all memories until 20 years later when you have a breakdown. I wish for death every night before I fall asleep. I hate myself, everyone, everything, and want to not feel anything anymore. That I don't agree with the half of their views that sometimes range anything from racist comments, laziness, lifestyle, etc. Not anything special, but it's a bit annoying when you want to strike up a constructive debate but it would only turn to yelling. Quick edit, because I am new to Reddit and this 1,000 upvotes makes me feel very validated, even if it may seem a small number to others. Thanks my friends. I went to a brothel while I was in Germany and it was amazing. My pleasure. Is it like some Voldemort ST where people with relevant usernames just appear, or is it just luck? The number of times this has happened is insane. I'm really happy to only see them once or twice a year due to living 3,000 miles away. I just can't stand them. They all gossip and talk ST and spin their wheels so much you can't even have a normal conversation with any of them. It's all drama and always has been. I never understood how and why I was so depressed my entire life. Found escapism through alcohol and partying. Since I've lived across the country, I'm sober. Have a super awesome family and I barely ever see them. It's great. Yes. My insides scream at family dinners. My mom set me up with one of her nurse coworkers and a few months later I had to go halvesies on an abortion. That I would be happier if I never had to see them again. I really don't enjoy spending time with them. I've been the black sheep since I was a child and it sucks when the entire family thinks of you as the mean one. Then wonder why you don't have any interest in spending time with them. I'm the picky, selfish, resting face black sheep to my family. I will admit I was misbehaved when I was a kid 10+ years ago. But I'm not a child anymore. They just refuse to think of me as any different than I was and keep bringing up the past. Also, It's not picky to not want to eat off of dirty, crusty plates, Dad. Oh my God. I am still a picky eater. But years of having to acclimate to my friends' and dorm mates' eating habits in college made me significantly less picky. Even so, it took years to get my dad to stop saying, "We can't go have sushi because aggravating cupcake doesn't eat sushi," or "aggravating cupcake doesn't eat lettuce or tomatoes." Every time I corrected him for years, he'd be all surprised. I feel like for my parents, they kind of decided that whoever I was at 18 was whoever I was going to be forever. That I accidentally got her, my mom, a non-vegetarian hot dog one time. I just didn't think when I was ordering. She thought it was the best veggie dog ever and had a great night's sleep that night. I will take that to the grave with me. Edit. Clarifying who her is. That's how you know the kitchen FD up your gluten-free order. It tastes too good. Every time I've gotten the best whatever at a restaurant, I've paid for it for months. That I'm actually married already. My now husband and I ran off and got married early due to some personal issues, and COVID didn't help. We're set to get married in November. His immediate family knows and my friends do, but definitely not my mother. She would have a fit. I'm waiting till I get my stimulus check if she ever finds out, so I can give her the money back if she wants it for my dress. Edit. I'm 100% happy and thankful we did get married earlier, by the way, like it's taken a lot of pressure off the wedding later this year, and I'm happy to be with my husband. She just didn't want me to because I would be taking something away from her. Or whatever. So we got married our own way. Just the two of us. It was perfect. Probably something that I would never confess to Reddit either. Oh. Go on. We won't tell anyone. Username checks out. My first thought when I found out my wife was pregnant was, now I have something else to live for. Quote, I was struggling harder with my mental health than I cared to admit to anyone. Even myself. The news that I would have a baby to look after got me to get remedicated and seek therapy. I would never tell my grandmother how much of an idiot I think my uncle is. She buries her head in the sand about him. Edit. I'm probably not your wife, cousin, niece or sister. Thanks for asking. I think you're related to me. Edit. I'm the niece. And me. I feel this so much. My uncle has been taking advantage of my grandmother for years and years and has drained her finances dry and trashed her beautiful home. But she won't let us speak ill of him ever. In 3rd grade, I cheated on my history exam. In 4th grade, I stole my Uncle Max's toupee and I glued it on my face when I was Moses in my Hebrew school play. In 5th grade, I knocked my sister Edie down the stairs and I blamed it on the dog. When my mom sent me to the summer camp for fat kids and then they served lunch, I went nuts and I pigged out and they kicked me out. But the worst thing I ever done, I mixed a pot of fake puke at home and then I went to this movie theater. Hid the puke in my jacket. Climbed up to the balcony and then I made a noise like this. Wah 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 hua, and then I dumped it over the side. All over the people in the audience. And then, this was horrible. All the people started getting sick and throwing up all over each other. I never felt so bad in my entire life. I'm starting to like this kid. I had to read a huge chunk of this before I realized it was a quote. Now do the truffle shuffle. That I think about suicide fairly often. Wow, thanks people ididn't think anyone would read this and would just get buried. All I want is to feel loved and secure. But I don't feel that in this family. I feel you. I'm bisexual. I'm not ashamed of it at all. I'm out to everyone non-family. I've been with my boyfriend for 4 years and I just see no reason to risk them freaking out about it. And I'm not that close with them anyway. I'm bi too and I'm closer to my family. So my plan right now is to roll the dice and hope I don't get into a serious relationship with a guy anytime soon. If I do, I suppose I'll tell them. But until then I don't see the point in opening that can of worms. When I was younger. In high school. I was terrified of telling anyone. When my first boyfriend came out to me as gay. I should probably mention I'm female lol. It helped a lot. When I went to college it was just kinda became a known thing I was bi. People I didn't really know and definitely tell would refer to me as it. Not in a derogatory way. More so in LGBT spaces I was just always welcomed without reaching out. I love my boyfriend more than anything. But I do sometimes wonder what it would be like to be with a woman. I wish you the best and hope you find someone too. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos.